I had the gentle reminder a couple days ago when I was feeling into what I wanted to talk about this week. And I was reminded of a video that I filmed about 6 months ago. It was back spring, and we were kind of coming off some of the big turbulent astrological energies. I was recovering from the flu, and it kind of reminded me because this week felt a little bit hectic too, coming off of last week's holiday. I had a busy travel schedule, and I was still kind of in that go go energy, and I was all ready and excited to film a video. But I actually realized that that's not what I needed. It was what I wanted to do, but it wasn't what I needed. So I went back and I watched this video, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. At the end of this video, there's even a kind of a short meditation, little exercise to help you better connect, to start to feel and determine what your needs are. I'll see you next week. We still can be in that energy of kind of recovering from these bumps. One of the things this energy can really show us is to get really clear and to connect to what's really important into your life and connecting to what your needs are. You know, there's a very big difference between wants and needs. I know that coming out of this weekend, I had an experience of getting really sick this weekend. Probably, I would say, one of the sickest I've ever been. And I'm okay now. However, I remember as I was in that energy and in so much pain and not feeling well that my needs became really clear in that moment. I needed to have the room feel like it would stop spinning. I needed fresh water. I needed connection and comfort. You know, it's in those times of struggle and bumpiness that we can gain perspective on what's really important to us. You know, it's also funny too, when I was getting dressed this morning to do this video, I was looking in the closet and gonna pick out a shirt. And I realized that I had packed all these things in my suitcase to come on this trip. And I realized that I actually only wore just a couple things. My mind prepared my suitcase on thinking of all the things I might need. When in reality is all I really needed was a few things. Now, that's not saying that I can't pack that suitcase in my desires and wants for the things that I want to wear and have with me on my trip for my comfort. But there is this difference between what I truly needed to bring with me and what I wanted to bring with me. It's healthy to have wants and desires. But when we talk about our needs, these are the core things within us that we truly need. You know, oftentimes in sessions that I've had with many of you and with others is I'll say, when did anybody ever ask you what you needed? Most of the time people go, well, nobody ever asked me what I need. And I say, what do you need? And do you know, most of the time, myself included, there was a time where I said, I don't know. Well, what I've learned over time on my journey is that in my life, I've accumulated a lot of my wants. There was a time where I wanted money and I had money. There was a time where I wanted a fancy truck and I had it. The perfect house, all the right clothes, the trips, whatever it was for me. And I know that that's going to be different for you. Those things that you wanted. Maybe it was this a relationship or a partner. But I realized that as I really accumulated or received, like obtained those wants, that I still felt really empty inside. And it wasn't until, the big, I would say the big bang awakening of my spiritual awakening, that I realized that those wants weren't fulfilling me. I felt empty. And it was when I started down the healing journey, a lot of the inner child work that we've all done together, many of you in this group, that I really started to figure out that none of those wants and desires were ever going to make me feel the feeling that I was needing, that until I could find out what I needed and learn to fulfill those needs inside of myself. There is not a person, place, or thing on this earth that can ever meet your needs until you go within and sit with yourself and truly know what they are. We can search outside ourselves forever trying to fill that hole. But it isn't until we truly connect to our needs. And yes, we need clean water. Yes, we need a strong body. But it's really these emotional needs that I'm talking about today. This energy, still a bit bumpy, may challenge you to get really deep and sit with yourself. It's inviting you to go inward and say, what do I need in this moment to feel connected and whole and loved and supported? When we can quiet ourselves down in the chaos of the outside world and the mind noise of what the shoulds be, what you think you want, and truly sit with the feeling that you are needing to feel, that whatever that is for you. To me, it's connection, it's peace, centeredness. Because it's when we connect to this place inside of ourselves, this quiet, this centered, connected to our soul's essence, our heart, our inner child, to spirit, the universe, whatever that is for you. It's when we connect to that and can feel centered. You see, that is what unlocks the door so that you can experience some of those wants and feel fulfilled in those. It's almost as if the wants come to the door, beating on it. But until we turn that key of connection within ourselves and open up, we can't receive the feeling that we're hoping to have from having the wants inside of us. So this week, start to ask yourself, what is it I truly need? Now, a way that you can get there is to take a few deep breaths, and I want you to connect and center. Let's just do it now together. And I want you to connect back to a time when you were around 4 or 5 years old. And I want you to connect to your inner child. See where you see that child. Maybe they're alone in their bedroom. Maybe they're out in nature. But connect to that part of you. There's a place inside of you at that age as a child, where your inner child would look and seek comfort. Where did your inner child go? Where did you go as a child to find comfort? And in that seeking or maybe escaping, go ahead and take another breath. What were you needing to hear or feel in that moment? Were you needing to be held by someone? Were you needing to be heard or seen? Were you needing to be told, I've got you, everything's going to be okay? Listen carefully and connect to that feeling of what that child needs. As you take another breath and connect. You know, sometimes in this moment, that child might not have an answer. You might not hear it, but you can feel it. Oftentimes, like many of you have had in sessions with me, and some of you as recent as the last week, we've done this exercise. Sometimes it can help to picture your own children or a child that you love to help to get you to connect to your child. If you're having some trouble connecting this week, feel free to reach out in this group. Like I said, many of you have already had sessions around this in the last week or so. I know that this is something that I've had to work on within myself, and for my particular journey, it was actually up close and center. I actually had the beautiful divine gift of being with my mom in the physical and actually telling her my needs and talking about them. And it created the most beautiful moments of healing over the past weekend. And knowing that even in this struggle of sickness, because she was actually sicker than I was, that we were able to connect and heal. So the challenges and the invitations that you may have this week are asking you to connect, to become really clear on what you need to feel the feelings of love and support and connection. It's also, in these times, sometimes hard to remember, I know it was for me, is to know that everything is working out in your greatest good. When I was so sick over the last weekend, I would have never, ever, ever imagined that my mom and I could have healed, like I just said, on this deeper level and become even closer and closer and closer. Because that is part of my journey. So whatever it is it's inviting you to look at for your needs is a part of your healing journey.